Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Sitka.
On this week's episode,
we are leaving for around 5 days.
Sometimes you gotta say yes to life.
This is Guanajuato. I'm having a bowl of Guinness.
It's gonna be my first shower, real shower since September. This is pretty cool.
Oh my god!
Yeah! Asshole!
Alright, so we are leaving for around 5 days. We are going to Karen's family's birthday party inland, so
Our
big
whole
road
family's
trip.
birthdays on the same day. But the thing is, our battery bank is so small, and we typically have to turn the engine on every 5 to 7 days, depending on the sun and stuff, just for about 45 minutes to an hour to top off all the batteries. And that's with our fridge running, and our fridge and freezer compressor running 24/7, and our anchor light and all the little things that we do during everyday life. I just wanted to see too. So right now we're using let's say if we look at the Xantrax, and we're using 3.2 amps, and let's see if I shut this down. You see now we go down to 0.6. So basically the fridge runs between, I've seen it higher too, but between 3 and 4 amps an hour. So if you calculate that over a 24-hour period, that adds up quite a bit, right? So that's it. That's the update for now.
We also dropped our laundry off earlier to get done, and then we'll pack and yeah, drop off garbage, just last minute things, and make sure we close all the portholes and the hatches just in case. And then we're leaving our dinghy on deck, which is great because it's gonna look like we're home.
Yeah, it's not typically something I would do to leave my boat at anchor. I mean, I've left my last boat at anchor for a long time in La Paz, but it was a very different boat. But this anchorage, we've been here for almost a month now, and in different types of conditions, and the weather looks good next week there for, well, when we're gone. So I'm not worried about the weather. We're far enough that there's no boats really close to us. We're a bit on the edge. I mean, theft and robbery doesn't seem too crazy here. So, but yeah, normally I would not leave the boat either way, but it's too good of an opportunity to pass away. So yeah, sometimes you gotta say yes to life and touch wood.
Good morning, everyone. It is early. It's about 5:40 in the morning. We're getting ready for our road trip. So some last minute things we're doing, getting rid of Caravaggio and packing last minute and dealing with our starter battery. Do you want to tell them?
Oh yeah, well, the last time we started the engine, which was like about 5-6 days ago, because that's how often we do it, just to charge the batteries, it wouldn't go, and I only have a way of checking like the total bank, but it was normally at that level, it's fine. And then the last time we had issues starting was when we first left Canada, and then we discovered it was our actual engine wiring loom at its terminal end at the actual engine panel. That was the issue. It had been corroded and stuff. So I replaced all that in San Diego, and then it worked great. Now, based on what's happening now, I'm 99.9% sure it's the starter battery. So last 5-6 days ago, like I was saying, I tried to start it and click, 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 nothing, and the battery, symbol lit up on the engine panel. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just combine. So I combined the batteries, for emergency, to start them using the starter with the house batteries, and that started it right away. And then I was like, oh, maybe they were lower than normal, whatever. I always let one chance to fluke, even though I shouldn't, but just because sometimes I go down rabbit holes and end up changing things that don't need changing. Sorry for the toothbrush. And then this morning, because I wanted to top off the batteries before we left, even though they weren't really due because we were still at 70%. I went to flash up the engine like about 20 minutes ago, and once again, click, 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 open up the engine room just to make sure that the loom on the starter was good. I noticed that there is one little red wire that's kind of corroded, but the main wires that provide electricity to the starter are fine. So that might be one of the sensors or something, but anyways, I don't have time to deal with that today. But when we come back, I'm gonna change that wire and then verify it. But if not, pretty sure it's still just a starter battery, but we'll change that wire anyways. So all that to say that more boat work and more stuff that needs changing. That being said, the starter battery is, I mean, I bought the boat in 2016 and it was pretty new when I got the boat. I changed the house batteries in 2019, but I didn't change the starter because it worked fine. But it's on its last legs probably now. It's probably been minimum 6-7 years that it's been in there, maybe more. So it's not unexpected. I was just hoping that it lasted the season, because it's like, I don't want it to sit in the yard for 4 months, but we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna finish getting ready here.
Brush your teeth.
Yeah, it's something a little disgusting too, but
pretty much all packed up to go, and it's still pitch dark outside. So like I mentioned before, we're leaving our dinghy on deck, meaning Max is going to be our Uber. So he was going to come pick us up in his dinghy, and yeah, we'll get on the road. Just like that, we were on our way, but we didn't make it that far before stopping over for a Mexican road trip snack, or should I say a drink. Coconut water for the road. You don't do that back home.
no, we don't.
It's not cold though. Yum. She's screwing out their reviews. Yeah, it's delicious. A quick taco and we were back at it, driving through the mountainous range of Jalisco area, Mexico. As we creep our way further inland, we figure out we were about an 8-hour drive to our first destination. One roadside fire and Jay's weird dance moves, we were making way quickly. On your starboard side, you will see blue agave plants growing, also known as a base ingredient in tequila. It can take up to 7 years for this plant to reach its full maturity for harvest. How interesting. Then we're gonna head this way and come down to Leon and Guanajuato. From here, we're gonna go down to Celaya. Woohoo! We made it. Finally, we have made it to Guanajuato, Mexico. Astonished by the colors while driving through, this city immediately had a soft spot in my heart. We eventually made it to our hotel, which to my surprise was a literal castle. Inaugurated as a hotel now known as Hotel Castillo Santa Cecilia.
Just a tad bigger than our sailboat.
And we get to shower for real.
This is gonna be my first real shower since September. It is now February. You do the math.
The history of this building dates back centuries until it was made into a now famous hotel back in 1951. With hidden doors, narrow hallways, and creaky floors, this place gave me the chills in every good way possible. Guanajuato is known for their series of wide tunnels extended beneath the city. Now provided for the use of traffic, they were once used for the diversion of the Rio Guanajuato to prevent flooding. The first night we walked around, listening to music being played and learning all there is to learn about this lively city. So we just ran up all of these stairs, and supposedly Karen said that she's going to tell us a story about this myth or something.
But
if we ran all the way up.
climb the stairs to get the myth.
So we ran all the way up.
But look at the view from here. It's insane.
And now we're going to be told the story. And look at this bloody view. It's just fantastic.
If I wouldn't tell you that I was a legend, you wouldn't make it all the way.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Totally got work on that.
Yeah, no kidding. I freaking booked it up these goddamn stairs. Freaking Karen. This is Guanajuato, a city in central Mexico with a population of 195,000. Known for its silver mining history dated back to the 1500s and colorful colonial architecture, this stunning and intriguing place is a must-see. I've never been to Europe quite yet, but I imagine it's a little something like this. We stopped for lunch in this little market, and we're having tortas de carnitas sin avocado because Jay and I don't like it.
And it is massive.
It's huge. We're gonna show you guys. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be messy. This may be a warning to some of our viewers. What you may see next can be triggering. We are taking a haunting stroll through the Mummy Museum of Guanajuato. Back in 1833, this small town was hit with an outbreak and a mass amount of people suddenly died. To prevent the spread of disease, others buried the sick. Some even were buried alive. As time passed by and the epidemic was forgotten, the relatives of those who passed away were asked to pay a tax to maintain the graves of their dead family members. Any body of which the tax was not paid for was unearthed and stored in a warehouse. Once they dug up the bodies, they realized they had been remarkably preserved. In fact, they have been mummified. It was determined that the dryness of the climate and the soil composition, mixed with the fact that the city is situated 6,000 feet above sea level, ultimately preserved the bodies. Word spread about the mummified bodies, and locals began sneaking into the warehouse to take a peek at them. Opportunity arose, and as tourists were willing to pay to see these bodies, not long after, the museum was formally established, and admission fees would then generate income for the town.
Made it to Celaya, and Bean is sleeping.
So for $1.50, $1.75 Canadian, I'm having a bowl penis that's in vinegar cut up on a cracker with something else. I don't know. She said in Spanish. I don't know Spanish, so we'll see. Oh, it's really jelly.
Well, give it half a pill of Viagra, it might get hard.
Jay! Why is it black in the middle? Oh, I'm scared.
How good is it? I don't know, that face usually does not mean good.
I got a lot of penis.
Max is going in.
No, it's not. You're lying. Okay, Jay's turn. No.
Not bad. Now you gotta keep going.
Yeah, I'm not fucking eating this. Now that we are in Celaya, Karen's hometown, we were told about the delicious food that wandered these streets, specifically the tacos.
These tacos that were the best tacos were the equivalent of 75 cents.
So everyone had tacos. It was equivalent to, like, how many tacos did we have all together then? 10 tacos.
It was
$7 total.
Well, it was 150 pesos, so $10 Canadian or 7 US.
Yeah, 7 US, 10 Canadian. And look at all the chicken.
Oh, look at the cutie pie.
You guys.
Oh, look at that.
3 or 4.
And then what about this one?
Oh, you cutie pie. Oh, you cutie pie. Honey, are you in a cuteness overload?
We were just driving, and then this like dog, like literally this big, runs out in front of the car, and we all just like jumped out like so fast.
And there's a whole little litter here.
And then we found a whole litter. Yeah. Finally, we spent our last night celebrating Karen's brother's birthday at their family's property outside of Celaya. Pool party, drinks, tacos, I mean, what else could one need? We even learned a new party trick called the Scorpion, which Day is demonstrating here. Thank you, Max and Karen, for inviting us on this very memorable trip inland. Jay found YouTube on a big screen.
Watching Skip Novak tour the boat of my dreams. Look at this, standing room while winching. Antarctic and Arctic capable boat. Normally this is our screen size. Well, I can't get up, I'm in my underwear, but this is our screen size.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
It's been a nice couple days here.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
And Jay just got out of a hot shower as well.
Yeah, this was my third hot shower, and the one I had 3 days ago was the first one since September. Because in the meantime, I was using Tupperware buckets on my head.
As everyone knows that follows us.
Yeah. But now I'm going to have to say bye-bye because I'm really wanting to watch this. And but thank you for watching.
All right, so we just got dropped off on Sitka around 5 minutes ago. So Max and Karen just dropped us off with their dinghy, and it feels really good to be home, like really good. And Sitka managed herself very well while we were away, so we're very happy with that. And now we're just unpacking and getting everything kind of in order.
Yeah, just opening up all the hatches, getting it ventilated. I was really surprised with the batteries, because we left the anchor light on the whole time, but obviously with no freezer, and we came back. We could have been away probably for another 4 or 5 days, no problem. So that's good. That's good news. Obviously, it's nice to open up and ventilate the boat a bit. And huge shout out to Max and Karen for inviting us on this trip. It was amazing. Also, huge shout out to Lucy and Raul for having us in their house. That's Karen's parents. They were super, super nice. Yeah. And also a huge thanks to our trip buddies who rented the van, Ethan and Cynthia. It was a super cool trip, really awesome experience, and like honestly, like it's something that we weren't planning on doing and had no expectations of doing. But I'm really, really glad we did it. It was really, really cool, and kind of fell in love with Guanajuato. We went from sea level to 6,000 feet altitude. Yeah, we could feel it the first day. Like it was like harder to breathe when we were like not just walking, headaches. But like going upstairs. Like we had a bit of a headache the first day. Yeah, headaches, and then just you climatize and you're fine. But so dry there too. Like we never ever use lip trap, and we were like applying it like 3 times a day. We're like, what the hell? And then I thought about it, and that was definitely the furthest away I've been from sea level in my life. It's a really cool experience. True. Yeah, amazing food. Yeah, maybe too much food, but yeah, it was so good though. Discovered a bunch of new dishes, and yeah, the hospitality we received was just bar none. Yeah, Karen's family is just so nice. Warm and welcoming. Yeah. It was so awesome to go do that. Super cool. But also good to be home now too. Yeah, and we learned about scorpions, which is Rulo's favorite drink method. Yeah. Rulo, if you're watching, happy birthday again. That's the whole reason we went down. It was Karen's brother's 40th birthday, and yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, it was really great. So fun. Really, now we gotta like go back to the boat life though. We got the starter battery to fix. We got the gooseneck that's getting built. We got the prop. Hopefully we can switch on. We got our friends have a set there. They're just anchored next to us, fellow Choi Lee owners. If you haven't checked out their channel, you should go check it out. They do really good stuff. So yeah, looking forward to catch up with these guys as well. Yeah, so that's the update. Okay. Bye guys. Stay tuned next week for another episode of Sailing Sitka. Thank you to all our viewers, and a special thank you to our patrons who make this lifestyle a reality.